This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I love being here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, I'm going to explain the rhythmic side of notation. So in the last video, we took a look at the staff and how the notes are situated on the staff, how we would identify what pitch to play when looking at standard music notation as far as that goes. Here in this video, we're going to take a look at how long we would hold those pitches out for and how that's indicated with the rhythmic side of things, how the shape of our note head and any stems or flags and so on indicate to us how long to hold a given pitch out for. So it's going to be great. This video accompanies the Theory and Technique book from my Method Book series. In that book, I'm supplementing what is on page 8. I'm going over that and sort of demonstrating it here to help you understand it better. Okay, so we learned how we've got a note head or a shape that sits on the staff, either on a pitch that's represented by a line or a pitch that's represented by a space, and this will sit there. But the shape of that tells us how long that's going to be held for. So up here on the board, I've got just our standard note shapes that we've got. The whole note, open oval shape. The half note is that oval shape, still open, but with a line attached to it. That's known as a stem, and it can go down or up. Then we've got the quarter note. So the difference between the quarter note and the half note is that we've got our solidly filled in oval shape. So it's no longer just an open sort of outline there. We've got it filled in solid. The eighth note, which comes after the quarter note, has a little flag added to the stem. And of course the stem with the quarter notes, any of the pitches, any of the notes that have a stem, that stem can come down off the left or go up off that top right side there. So I've just shown them all pointed down here on the board. But we've got the quarter note. The eighth note has one little flag. 16th note has two flags. You could actually keep going. You might notice that we're cutting our values in half. So we started with a whole note, we got a half, then it's a quarter, then it's an eighth, then it's a 16th. So the next thing would be to go to a 32nd. That would have three flags. You could go to a 64th, that would have four. It's really rare to run into those types of things. It's really hard to read such small, quick values, but sometimes they do show up in the music. These are the ones that we see frequently though. So how does this work as far as how long we hold them out for? Well, we're going to give our whole note 4 counts. So that means our half note gets 2 counts, our quarter note gets 1 count, our eighth note then gets a half a count, and our 16th note gets a fourth of a count. If our measure had 4 counts in it, if it could have the value of one whole note, just note, and even then it wouldn't need a measure. We're going to learn about measures in the next video. But if we just look at the whole note value of having 4 counts, note that there are 2 half notes in one whole note. There are 4 quarter notes in one whole note. There are 8 eighth notes in one whole note. There are 16 16th notes in one whole note. That's another way to sort of look at that. So each of those values goes like that. Now with our eighth notes and our 16th notes and any other notes that might have a flag, we can also beam them together alternatively. So when we have 2 eighth notes back to back, for example, we can have them just with a beam across instead of the flag. So with 16th notes, we'd have 2 beams. Now you can't have 16th notes and eighth notes using the same beam. You'll just see an extra little beam sticking out when it's a 16th note compared to an eighth note. And if we went on to 32nd notes, you'd see an extra one there. We'd have 3. And then if you go on to that 64th note, we'd have 4, and so on. Now, the notes are how long we play. There's going to be times in music and in notation where we want to sort of indicate silence or not playing a note value during that time. And so we've got counterparts to each of our notes. We've got the rest values. So this whole note rest will sit on the second line from the top of the staff, and it hangs on to the top of it, and it's just kind of a little rectangle there. A half rest will sit on the line below that, and that's how that works. So it'll sit on the center line. Our quarter rest kind of looks like a squiggly 1. That's a way to remember it. And then we get almost this little Y kind of shape, but it's really that we've got a flag attached to the line there for an 8th rest, 2 flags for that 16th rest. So you'll see examples like these in actual computer notation there on page 8. So this is how these work, and you'll have these different notes held together. I'm just going to demonstrate here the difference in the rhythmic values. So the whole note we'd have, and I can just strum it on a G chord, but we'd have G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. A half note then would have G, 2, G, 2, G, 2, G, 2. If it was quarter, we'd have G, 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 G. If we had 8th notes, we'd have G. And if we had 16th notes, we'd go even faster. It's kind of fast to do all down strums. I would normally do some up strums there. So you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... I added an extra just held note there at the end, but that's how those rhythms work like that. Now, there's a couple other things that we have to add in here. We've got something known as a dot. If we add a dot to a shape, then to the note head, just like we have here, we're going to add half its value to its total length. So if you have a half note, that means adding a quarter note's length to it, and that gives us 3 beats. Notice that there isn't a way to get 3 beats without the dot here. And then with like a dotted quarter, we see these a lot of the times. We're taking the value of a half note and adding it to it. So you notice we have 1.5 counts with that dotted quarter note. If we had a dotted 8th note, we're going to get 3/4 of a beat, because we're going to have the equivalent of 3/16 notes happening for the length of that one. So of course we have dotted half rest, dotted quarter rest, dotted 8th rest. You could have a dot added to lots of different values, but these are the 3 that we see. You could potentially have a dot added to a whole note, for example, or even a 16th note, but these are the ones that we see the most frequently in notation. And then, sort of in another way of doing the same thing, we've got a tie. We can tie 2 notes together. This especially works when we go over a bar, and we'll learn about bars in the next video, but you can tie 2 notes together. So if I take a half note and a quarter note and I have an arching line that connects them together, then it would be plucked at the beginning of this, played at the beginning, and held for the duration of the 2 combined. It's the same thing as having a dotted half note, is having a half note tied to a quarter, or a quarter note tied to a half. It could be either way. Same thing, the dotted quarter here, another way of seeing it is as a quarter note tied to an 8th note, that little arch line, or it could be an 8th note tied to a quarter note for the same rhythmic value. It's going to get the same thing. One other thing to be aware of with these is the triplets. So with the music that we play, most of the time you'll see how all of this is just cut in half, cut in half, cut in half. So when we create a triplet, what we're doing is squeezing into the space that 2 values would have taken, 2 of the same values would have taken. Now we're going to squeeze into that space 3 of them. We create what we call a triplet. And in this case, I've got written out a quarter note triplet. 3 quarter notes with a little arch line and a 3 telling us we're going to put 3 of these in the place of 2 of them. And so that kind of works like this. Normally 2 quarter notes would make a half note. Now we're going to squeeze 3 quarter notes into the space of a half note. 8th note triplets are really common, so we'd squeeze 3 8th notes into the space of 1 quarter note instead of 2 8th notes. 3/16 into the space of an 8th instead of 2. So just for example with the 8th notes, so if you had like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and now you're going to get 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... If I do that on a chord, here's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... There's different ways that we can pluck and play those. I was just demonstrating one, but that's how triplets work. So those show up from time to time. Depending on the time signature and the meter that we're in, sometimes it's common to have 3 notes sort of grouped together in the feel of that meter, and other times most of the ones that we play in, it's common to have 2, but sometimes we'll squeeze 3 in. So we'll learn a little bit more about that as we get into meter, and then as we work on some rhythmic exercises to master playing rhythm later in the lesson series. All right, super fun. So in the next video, we're going to look at time signatures and measures and how the rhythms work inside of those, how we get the meter of a song, the different time signatures and meter, the 2 separate things, but they work together. The time feel of a song or the groove of a song all works together with sort of how many beats we would put in that measure. So we're going to look at that in the next video. Hope you're having fun. Take care, and I'll see you again. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.